If you're thinking about moving to France or you are already in France on a 1-year residence permit and planning to switch to a longer-term status, there is a new mandatory requirement that catches many people by surprise at the application stage. From January 1st of 2026, most long-term residence roles now include a formal civic knowledge exam, and many applicants only discover it when their prefecture asks for the certificate. The exam in Civic is now a key condition for most multi-year residence cards, 10-year residence cards, and for French naturalization. In this video, we will look at what this exam actually is, who has to pass it, how to prepare in a smart way, and when it can make sense to consider a different status, such as the passport talent, which is largely exempt from this integration test. My name is Diana Sadikova. I'm an immigration lawyer and head of immigration at Natlan. For more than 15 years, our company has been supporting clients on their journey to relocation, business immigration, and real estate investments in Europe. Let us start with the basics. What exactly is this exam? The Civic exam is free. You can retake it as many times as you need, and once you pass, your result is valid without a time limit. The pass mark, however, is high. You must answer correctly at least 32 out of 40 questions, which is an 80% score. And candidates who show up without any preparation very often fail this on the first attempt. So, where does this exam actually come from? It's based on France's new immigration and integration law from January 26 of 2024. This law introduced a formal civic exam as part of the country's integration process. The detailed rules were finalized during 2025 and starting from the beginning of this year. The exam became fully mandatory for all new long-term applicants with no transition period. The exam is organized by the French Office for Immigration and Integration, and it's taken on a computer in approved testing centers. Now let's talk about the format. So what do they actually ask you? The exam is 45 minutes multiple choice test in French with 40 questions and 4 options each time, only one of which is correct. To pass, you need those 32 correct answers out of 40. There are no negative points, but every mistake pushes you further away from that 80% threshold. Out of the 40 questions, 28 are factual, so usually it's about French history, geography, political institutions, and Republican values, such as liberty, equality, fraternity. The remaining 12 are situational. You are given a real-life scenario and asked how to act in line with French law on topics like school, work, healthcare, or daily rights and duties. Who needs to take this exam and who is exempt? From 1st January of 2026, passing the Civic exam is mandatory if you apply for your first multi-year residence permit, for your first 10-year resident card, or for French naturalization. Renewals of existing multi-year and residence cards are generally not subject to the exam requirement, provided you already hold the card and are simply extending it. On the other hand, some groups remain outside of the scope. So it's usually many holders of talent passport permits, applicants who are aged 65 or more, students simply renewing a 1-year permit without changing status, and some certain family cases. But details can be subtle, so your specific road matters a lot. At the same time, language requirements changed in parallel with the Civic exam in 2026, and this part is often missed. For the first multi-year card, the required French level is now A2, whereas in 2025, A1 was enough. For the first 10-year residence card, you now need level B1. In 2025, the requirement was A2. Regarding naturalization, the bar has been raised to B2 level, while previously it was B1. In all cases, you must prove your level with an official certificate such as TEF, TCF, or a DELF diploma or recognized French taught academic degree. To put these levels in simple language, A2 is basic conversational French, enough for everyday tasks and simple exchanges. B1 is intermediate level. You can explain yourself in most common situations and manage daily life without constant help. B2 level is upper intermediate. You can speak with confidence about general topics, follow more complex discussions, and read more demanding text, which is why it's now required for citizenship. Have you already heard about this exam and the new language levels, or are you discovering them only now? And if you are planning a move to France, where are you in the process right now? Early research? First 1-year card, or already thinking about multi-year or residence card? Your answers help us see which parts of this perform are still unclear and which topics we should break down in the future videos. So let us come back to the talent passport, because for some of you, this is not just a theoretical exemption, but a very real strategy. The talent passport is a family of residence permits for highly skilled workers, intra-company transferees, entrepreneurs, founders, researchers, and certain investors. Under the 2026 rules, many talent passport holders are largely exempt from the new Civic exam and from the higher language requirements, both at first issuance and renewal of their talent passport card. On our channel, we already have a separate in-depth video about the status, who qualifies, who doesn't, what income is required, which subcategories exist. You can find it in the description. In practical terms, if you're a strong candidate for a talent passport, this road can give you a multi-year permit with fewer integration tests, at least for the first years of your life in France. However, there is an important long-term detail. If later you want to switch from talent passport to a 10-year resident card, the Civic exam and at least B1 French level will apply to you as well, like to everyone else. So the talent passport can delay but not permanently remove the need to prove integration if your goal is permanent residence or citizenship. If the talent passport is not realistic for you and the exam is unavoidable, how should you prepare? Before you apply for a multi-year card, you are usually required to complete a Civic integration course of about 24 hours under the Republican integration contract. This course covers exactly the themes that appear in the exam and is designed to give you a structured overview of French institutions, values, and everyday rules. The official portal publishes the core topics and key information about the exam, and the Interior Ministry hosts an online practice platform with sample questions. Specialist websites such as Civic provide detailed breakdowns of the format and large banks of practice questions in French and sometimes English, including full mock exams. To prioritize your study time, you should first cover Republican values, the structure of the state, so it's President, Parliament, Senate, Constitutional Council, and the major dates of French constitutional history, especially 1789, 1946, and 1958. One last point is easy to overlook. France in 2026 is not just one more exam, it remains one of the more realistic long-term roads into the EU for those who want to work, start business, or relocate with their family, provided you are ready to meet clear and transparent integration standards. The requirements have become stricter, but they are also more predictable, and that means that preparation, both for the Civic exam and for the language test, is now a central part of any serious French immigration plan. If you're unsure which categories you fall into, whether you can qualify for a talent passport, or how to time your application around these new rules, this is exactly the kind of situation where an individual strategy makes a big difference. If you want a personalized plan for your case, you can book a consultation with our team at Atlan, and we will go through your situation step by step, choose the right road, and build a realistic preparation schedule for the exam and language requirements.